cryptoverse. Well, you guys know what's going on. For those who joined me last night, midnight to be precise, we were talking about the debacle, the destabilization, the depeg of USDC. And, you know, we didn't really cover your options. And in this live stream, that's exactly what I would like to do. Just went out for a coffee, figured I'll just do one from the car. Because, yeah, it's just going to be a casual one. But we're going to drop a lot of info here for you guys. So it's no secret right now. Some of you guys were sleeping. You probably woke up to, you know, one of your worst nightmares if you thought stablecoin and USDC was your best option. Turns out that was not your best option. That's why I try to tell people, you know, to really learn in this space, you have to have conviction and you have to go by what your research, what your mind tells you, not what the news tells you, not what others are doing, right? It's nice and dandy when everyone is doing it and it's fine, but when that fails, it's not that nice anymore, right? So you can look at this in different aspects, whether that's investments or whether that's opinions. You need to go with your own opinion. Just before I start off this video and talk about the different options, do smash the like button. Do share this in the various Telegram chats as well. And we could tweet it out too if you wanted to, Thomas or Dev. Now, yeah, I know there's a lot of people who thought USDC was one of the safest stable coins because it's regulated, it's this, is this, is that, is this. But if you really look at the history behind it and how it became one of the safest stable coins, was from what? From media. Right? Really from media. And, you know, this affiliation with Coinbase and Circle being backed and all this shit. But that doesn't really matter at the end of the day. You know, we had news coming out that gave me strong conviction and suspicion of why I needed to get out of it. And thank God I did, you know, and I went into USDT a couple months ago. But I already spoke about that last night, so I don't want to reiterate that. But what we will definitely talk about is what is your options right now? If you're holding USDC, what's the peg at right now? What we're looking at, 91 cents or so? If you're looking at USDC right now and you're holding it, say you woke up and you got like, I don't know, 100K into it, you know, if you were to sell it right now, you're pretty much going to get about $90,000. So these are your limited options, ladies and gentlemen, if you're now joining us, okay? Number one is you could hope and wait and pray that USDC actually gets back to $1. Now, some people are asking me, do you think it's going to get back to $1? I would say this, I'm 50-50 on that. Chances are it would, but I'm not banking on it. What I personally would do is this. I would cut my losses. I would sell it right now. This is me. If I don't even have $1. Actually, I think I got like $2.50 in one of my MetaMask accounts. But, you know, if I was holding a portion of USDC right now, I'm cutting my losses. I don't care. Now, last night when I was asked this question, after the stream, some people were texting me on Telegram. Hey, bro, I got USDC, bro. What should I do? Is it going to go back? Nobody really knows. One would think it would, just so they could kind of like save their, you know, defend their rep a little bit here. But my notion was this. The majority of the people were at sleep when this took place. So the majority of the people didn't know this happened. So what happens when they wake up? They're going to shit their pants and they're going to want to sell it, right? A lot of people saying don't sell under, you know, 90 cents. Well, what happens now if this thing does not go back to $1 and it just gradually goes down further to, let's just say, 75 cents, 80 cents or what have you? Well, now you're at a 20% loss. So these are the precautions and the necessary steps and, you know, in line of thinking you need to take into consideration, because these are realistic, you know, circumstances that could take place. Okay, guys, for those who are now joining, USDC, we're talking about, like, it's old news now. It's the peg. We were, you know, we covered it late last night, the moment it happened, literally. So now we're talking about the follow-up to that, right? What could you actually do now, and what is your options out there? And I will get to the live chat shortly, guys. What is your options? And I'll kind of repeat it because a lot of people just kind of join right now. Your options is this. There's about 3 options. You could actually wait for it to stabilize again if you think it's going to stabilize again. And we're actually in the middle of discussing, is it going to stabilize? Well, nobody really knows. Everybody has an opinion and saying, yes, it is, yes, it is. Some people say, no, it isn't. What I would tell you is this. You always have to think like this. There's other people in this market just like yourself, right? It's really like you against the market or you against others. So what does that mean? You need to think about, like, if I were other people, what would I do? And if those other people would do what I think they would do, then I need to do the opposite. You see what I'm saying? So if I believe that people will wake up when they were sleeping and this happened and saw this mess, they're like, holy shit, what am I going to do? Instant reaction is panic. Their heart's going to start to beat faster. Their palms are going to get sweaty. They're going to call a friend, what to do. And chances are, you know, they're going to sell. And if they're going to sell their USDC at a loss, right? And it depends. Like maybe some of them are holding millions and are like, you know what, I'm gonna ride it out, right? They might want to see it come back up. That might be a possibility, but I believe the majority of people would sell, and we might see it go down a little bit lower. Now, did that happen? I don't know. I didn't really look at the chart. Look at the USDC chart. Like if it's a fucking cryptocurrency, like a volatile one of that. But I think it went to like 87 or something like that. What's it at right now, guys? Let me know. Is it at 92 maybe? It should actually be at 91 with the 25% being locked up. So that's your number one option. You need to weigh out your, your options in terms of if you believe it's going to go back to $1, or in terms of if you think, you know what, let me cut my losses and move on. Me personally, I will cut my losses and move on. 91 cents, thank you. I would personally cut my losses and move on, right? Again, if I had $1 million in USDC, yeah, I would take that hit of 90K. Right now and move on, because I'm not willing to gamble further on if it's going to go up or if it's going to go down, right? And intake another hit of, say, another 5% hit if it was good to, like, 85 cents or 86 cents. I'll take my losses and move on, because guess what are you going to do anyways? What are you going to do anyways if this goes back to $1? You're going to just remain in USDC? Of course not. I mean, you're stupid if you do. Right? You're stupid if you do. And they did a really good job of convincing the majority of the people in the space, institutions included, that it's one of the safest stable coins, right? Anything, and this is not me being prejudiced. This is not me being, hater. Like, I live in North America, but any crypto company that's American, I don't want any part of it. Look at the fall of all of them. Celsius, Voyager, we go on BlockFi, now freaking these guys, FTX. Like, I know there was, you could say that, oh, that was in Bahamas, but it was run by American people, okay? And they were influenced across the states. I don't give a shit. So I don't want nothing to do with that, okay? Okay, so we're not going to repeat what we talked about last time. So what is your second option? What is your second option? Your second option is this. If you're in USDT, or if you're in another stable coin, which most of them are already depegged as well, it's almost like if those other stable coins are pegged to USDC. We're talking about DAI, we're talking about Magic Internet Money. Do smash the like button, guys, I appreciate it. We're talking about Magic Internet Money, which was actually one of the first. And there's another one out there that I can't remember off the top of my head. It's also at around 92 cents right now. Or on BUSD, which isn't depegged at the moment. I believe there will be a coordinated attack on these two other stable coins, which they already were trying to do leading up to this point. It's well documented that the SEC, I believe it was, or not the SEC, another alphabetical agency, they approached Paxos, who is the issuer of BUSD, who are located in New York. They told them that they have to stop issuing this, okay? And sure enough, Paxos said, hey, CZ, Binance, we cannot issue BUSD anymore. I do not like the influence. This is why I do not like the American crypto companies, because they could be heavily influenced by the powers that be, the competitors, the people who don't want to see crypto and stablecoins flourish. They can be heavily influenced by them, and Paxos is a prime example of that. Now, this is not to be mistaken with that. Paxos is not issuing BUSD anymore. Okay, the ones that are circling are still okay. So my point is this: if you are holding BUSD, if you are holding USDT right now, boy, you got decisions to make, and I'm part of that equation. I am part of that group there that has decisions to make. What am I going to do? Well, here's my game plan, right? Do smash the likes. Thank you for joining. My game plan is this. Again, if I believe, right, this is just my opinion, that USDT is going to be attacked in a physical way, where they're going to try to depeg them too, to say, hey, look, guys, all stable coins are garbage. BUSD is. What are my options? I need to get into a cryptocurrency like a Bitcoin or like an Ethereum. But here's the problem with that. Like, first of all, you should already have a portfolio of Bitcoin that you never touch for a long time, and Ethereum that you never touch for a long time, and all these other cryptocurrencies, right? Sure, you want to have your stable coin to protect your, for trading and gambling purposes, in terms of, when I say gambling, investing into other coins that could go up and what have you to make more money, so you don't got to go through the off-ramp, centralized, corrupt entities that are going bankrupt right now. I get that. But what I'm trying to say is, if you were to go into Bitcoin right now, you got to be very aware of this one fact. Okay, that one fact is this. Remember that the same people or entities that are trying to ruin this market owns 1 billion or has in possession $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. Where? on Coinbase, where all the dirty games are going to be played. Why did they choose Coinbase? Once again, it goes back to what I just alluded to. I believe these powers that be who don't want to see this space flourish are heavily influencing these American crypto companies and institutions like the Coinbases of the world. Okay, I still got some love for Kraken, and I do believe the the guy behind Kraken is legitimate in terms of his intentions for the space. But listen, when a man who's very powerful, or people who are very powerful, who are highly connected, who are filthy rich, who are connected, comes up to you and say, hey, see, I'm the owner of Coinbase, I'm the owner of Kraken, my intentions are well, they could make that flip like this and say, hey, I know your daughter goes to St. Michael's Elementary School, Sarah. I watch her every day at 8 a.m. Hey, this is what you're going to have to do. Don't worry. Do this and you'll be fine. You know? It's almost like you got to sell out to join them. This is real shit. Am I saying this is reality in this case? I can't say that for sure. But this is the nature of the game, bro. Dude, there's a reason why they don't want to see, I'll give you an example with oil, BP petroleum. Why were we stuck on fossil fuels for so long? Because it's the powers that be, it's $1 trillion piggy bank for them. They don't want to see that monopoly go. This is another monopoly for them. If Elon Musk, a single dude, could figure out electric cars, and these powers that be couldn't, or the monopolies couldn't, who control that monopoly, why? They don't want to see their investment dissipate. Right? This is another key example of that. They have control of this monopoly. They don't want to see it dissipate. And they'll do it by any means necessary, even by intimidation. That's the dirty world we live in. Hello. So you need to think like this. So what is that option then? Well, are they going to dump Bitcoin? Do they know that if they could destabilize all these stable coins, including BUSD, including USDT, and obviously USDC already did its thing, and in my opinion, I think they were already trying to destabilize BUSD. Remember, they were talking about Binance, and he doesn't have one for one. We're going to audit them. The audited company said that it's not legit, it's not accurate, it's all bullshit to scare you off, to depeg it, leading up to these climaxes like right now. Like, if you look at all of the news that came out with the Coinbase having that $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, KuCoin being sued, Heterograph, forget about that though. All of these news freaking that happened in the same day. Now this the peg of USDC. They were trying to line up BUSD with this too. Okay? And you're trying to get rid of USDT from a long time. Are they trying to implementing a brand new monetary system? Because the current system that we're in right now, where we know, this is now common knowledge thanks to the internet, that banks do not own the amount of money that we have in our bank accounts. Okay, the monetary system right now is about to collapse in terms of, I'm not saying today or tomorrow, but very soon. This false system that they sold us all, that we actually play a part in this economy of this fiat dollar, the hot air balloon, they can't patch it anymore, bro. They're running out of material to patch that hole, and it's coming down. That Silicon Valley bank just went down. Are you going to go to the bank next month, next 3 months, and try to pull out some money, and they say, oh, well, we got to give it to you in 30 days? Is that what's going to happen? I'm thinking long term here now, bro. Like, if you got money in the bank, you got to be thinking like this too. Because this system is broken. Are they going to come over the CBDCs now? The central bank digital currency. This is a way, the only way they could fix this mess with inflation right now, guys, is by reintroducing a brand new system. And what's that brand new system? Yeah, it's going to be the digital stable coins, right? For the government. So, and if you got a coin like USDC and BUSD and USDT already has a digital the digital stable coins, well, they need to wipe that out and introduce the real one, which is the, whatever fucking America's going to call it. So anyhow, back to the point where I was trying to make. If you are in USDT, if you're in BUSD, you got decisions to make. Don't sit there like a sitting duck, okay? Because you are, it's a threat right now. Okay, and you need to make moves right now. It's like, just like, when you were the whole, like, you make profits on something, say it's crypto, and you got, some fiat on you. You don't sit on that because inflation fucking shrinks it. You got to make moves, put into real estate, go buy a business, invest into a business. You got to make moves right now, guys. So if one of your options is to buy Bitcoin, just keep in mind that how they own $1 billion worth of Bitcoin sitting at Coinbase right now that could crash everything. But if you're okay with that, do it. Because what you shouldn't be okay with is a stablecoin being depegged and not being able to recover. We all know Bitcoin will recover, okay, if that was to happen. So this is what I'm doing right now, personally. Right now, yes, I got out of USDC about 2-3 months ago, and I put it into USDT. It actually was in BUSD, and then I said, you know what, I'm gonna go to USDT. I'm gonna wait right now, and I'm gonna see what they're doing with that 1 billion. But I am still every second that goes by, there's more of a likelihood other stable coins like USDT being attacked and being depegged as well. So this, this is no recommendation, bro. I was literally having a call right now with Dev, and I said, bro, let me go talk about our conversation right now on the live stream. And that's what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Okay, I just want to share my thoughts with you guys, and this is how you have to think. So that's your second option, okay? Option number one is you make a decision right now, bro. You know, you sell your freaking USDC at a loss, and you should. That's what I would do. If you think it's going to recover, well, hey, all the power to you, and I pray it does for you. Or your second option is to really just yeah, go into Bitcoin right now, but just know that how they do own a heavy amount of Bitcoin, that they could dump it on you as well. But that's much safer than a stablecoin going down in value than Bitcoin going down in value, right? And we have all this new use case with Bitcoin, with Taproot being upgraded, where people are buying it to wrap up their Satoshis in a tradable piece of content, an artifact called ordinals, where people constantly buying Bitcoin for this reason. And I know that how Bitcoin, it will go up. So I could take that hit. I don't mind. Okay, guys? I got people messaging me all over the place. Do smash the like button. I'll take any question that you have right now. Once again, for the people joining us right now, we're talking about, it's all news at this point. USDC is the peg, but what are you going to do about it right now? You can't sit there. If you're sitting there, you're a sitting duck, you're going to get shot. Okay? You can't do that. Make moves right now. Be proactive. Don't be reactive. Okay? Don't listen to what everybody is saying, including me. Listen to what you think is right and do what you think is right, and that's it. Okay, so let's take number one question. Go to the top. So, Physical says, let's go. Crazy news. What do my coins? What cryptocurrency coins? I don't know what you're talking about. Be more specific. DAI too. There you go. Yeah, so Crypo, we were talking about DAI last night. And I don't own any DAI. You know, I think I had like about $10,000 worth of DAI some time ago, and I converted that a long time ago. After, especially when the co-founder, I think, was killed. He was killed pretty much on the beach in Puerto Rico. I just let loose of my DAI, and that to me was like, when you're in the stablecoin dirty game, you have to understand this. They're going to attack them financially. They're going to attack them with information, so information wars on media, and they're also going to attack them physically with their livelihood. Right, so once that is the case, you don't want to really own much of that, because now that's vulnerable. There's vulnerabilities, okay? And I'm not all about that kind of. I'm not about that life. So you gotta like you know. Dev was telling me, he's like, yo, bro, we were hopping around. You know, you were talking about USDC. You had this conviction, and you know, we went to BUSD, and then we're like, you know, should we go back to USDC? I'm like, nah, let's do USDT. But at the end of the day, you know, somebody commented, bro, but you know, you once believed in USDC. Not that I believed in it. Maybe like a year or 2 years ago, it opposed to be one of the safest. But guess what? At the time, it's all about when you get in, when you get out. Hold them and fold them. Am I on it when it went down? No. Right? So when new evidence emerges, you best be making moves and not just thinking about it. Like, you could read all the books in the world on self-help, but if you're reading the books and not putting that to plan into action, is worthless. Well, the same is true for this. You could do all your research, you could think about it, but if you're not implementing what your mind is telling you and your heart is and your gut is saying, what good is that? So yeah, we're shuffling a lot of funds, and you know, it's kind of paying off dividends right now. Fuck, guys, I gotta spit here, but I hold it in for the live stream. What other questions we got there? The all Tim Hortons coffee? Of course. I want to know, why not just hold fiat? Okay, very good question, Gene. So we all know the saying that fiat is worthless, and of course it's worthless. But at the moment right now, believe it or not, cash is king. Right now, cash is king. If you look at the real estate industry right now, market right now rather, unless you could buy out homes, you're golden. Okay, but not the average guy cannot buy out a home. The average guy will have to now go into a new, mortgage, which endures highly, very high interest rates. You know, I think right now in Canada, if you got the best freaking credit, you got everything, like, you know, what they're looking for, if they check all the boxes, you're going to be exposed to a 10% interest rate. That is not ideal, when it was just the other day 2.75. Okay, about a year and a half ago. Okay, if you have those same credentials and good credit. So right now, cash is king, but under a circumstance. What do I mean? And you guys are saying, yo, what's this guy talking about? Just give me a moment to explain. Cash is king in the sense of, assets right now aren't performing. We look across the board, stocks, we look at real estate, we look, housing markets overall went down as well in terms of the valuation of the homes. The real estate itself, not just the interest rates. We look at crypto right now, you know, although crypto is still a safe haven because obviously it will go back up. It's just a matter of time. Cash is king in the sense of if you could hold on to it, cold hard cash in your possession, in your hand, not in a bank. Okay, that's what I would say right now. But then the next thing is, if you do that, you know, like, let's just say that how you, like, if you have cash in the bank, I would say withdraw that shit and keep it at home. Okay, because if you're trying to like take cash out of crypto to put it back into crypto later, you might run into some problems. You're going to have to trust another counterparty to convert that for you, unless you know some guys on a peer-to-peer markets where you can meet up on the streets and, you know, they'll give you Bitcoin for that. I don't know. You meet up on, like, say, Paxful. That's what Paxful does. And local Bitcoins and all that kind of shit. Okay, cool. But not everybody does that. So those are the problems with that. Yes, cash is king right now in the short term. Okay? But not in the long term. And it goes back to what I was saying. Markets are forever changing our what do you call it, ideologies or perspectives on what is right now. Invest into real estate, always goes up. Well, you do that right now, you're fucked, right? Okay, unless you could buy it out. Buy it out, sure. Okay, do this. They flip-flop that on its head, where we used to say cash is trash, put it into assets and it'll appreciate. But right now, that's not the case. When you're going through these recessions, you need to actually have cash in your possession. Like literally on you, not in the bank, because you know the worst of the worst can happen where banks just go bankrupt and then you can't even get your cash. And that dude, it's coming to that. That sounds crazy right now, but it's coming to that, bro. There's going to be a day, God forbid it happens in our lifetime, but it probably is going to happen in our lifetime, that we go to the bank and they're going to say, come back in 30 days for your withdrawal, and then sure enough, they don't got the money to give everybody. And this already happened in many countries across the world. Just because it's third world countries, don't think it can't happen to you. Argentina, Venezuela, and Lebanon, all these things, buddy. You don't think it can't happen to you, okay? Because we literally are living in that same sort of economy, that same sort of like systematical economy where it's fiat currency, where you have to just print money and believe in their promises, okay, at the end of the day. So I would love to know, what option are you guys going with? Are you holding on to USDC? Are you going to wait for this to reach back to $1 if it ever does, which it might? I'm 50-50 on that, to be honest. And when it comes to 50-50, and if I'm holding a significant amount of funds, I'm going with the other side of the 50, which is telling me to cut my losses now, because I can't afford to risk or gamble more losses right now if it was to go up. Right? Again, if you believe like me, there's a 50% chance right here that it's going to go back to $1. There's another 50% chance that it's going to go down even further. Then what is your options? Well, I'm already at a loss. Could I afford more loss at a 50% chance? No, I can't. So I'm cutting my loss right now, moving on. You know, and God forbids, maybe this happens, guys. For the people who are here, smash like. USDC might just fucking freeze your damn wallets. How about that? What you going to do then? You're going to wait for it to go back to $1? Coinbase just says that how they cut off withdrawals for USDC. Right? What's next? It's just going to get worse and worse before it gets better. Look, again, I pray for you guys that it does, whoever's holding that, but man, that's wishful thinking at this point. Okay. Big Kimma says, bro, thank you. I sold all my USDC the moment you made the first call. Thank you, bro. Bless you. Good for you, man. TCL for life, broski says, I never hold stable coins. They all depeg. There you go. You know, yeah. I mean, I could add on to that. It's like saying everything comes with a risk. Everything comes with a risk. You're going to have to like diversify that risk, so to speak. But fiat's not the solution long term. They're making it the solution right now if you can hold on to it. But Bitcoin to me is the ultimate solution, bro. Put your shit in there. If it goes down, even if that shit goes down to fucking 4K, bro, don't matter. It's going to come back up, right? It's far more easier for something like a decentralized currency to go back up more than a depegged stable coin. Fing Book, hey, Fing Book, thank you for commenting and watching the live stream last night. I really appreciate your support. Right on, car video. I like studio too, but it made me realize I like the vlogger over the the vlogger over the location. Appreciate that. No, it's just you know, I'm kind of feeling the mood to do it live right now, and I'm here right now, so might as well do it. Let BTC go to 4,500. The Hex will still be up even if it goes along slow, which that, hey, good for Hex. I mean, you guys know that I was the first one to talk about Hex ever on YouTube, by the way. So, you know, people say, why don't you talk about it right now? I mean, like, I don't know. It's kind of like old news to me. There's no reason for me to talk about it. There's a bunch of people talking about it. They don't need another video from me, you know, and it is what it is. So, but yeah, that's what you believe in, sure. But as I say, bro, just because everybody's doing something, I like something, don't mean you know, you should follow suit all the time, because you'll be in for a real shock if that was the flip-flop. That's all I'm saying. Let's leave it at that. Protect this man at all costs. Do drink coffee. This man made me rich. Listen up, people, chat. Appreciate you, chat. Watch this, watch this. There's another Escalade driving by me. I got the V series. I want to let them know this ain't no regular Escalade. Just have to rev it up. Is USDC rug pulling? I'll tell you this. I honestly, truly believe everything like this was already pre-planned. You look at FTX, you look at what they're trying to attack BUSD for no reason, just minding their own business, blaming CZ, trying to take down his exchange, that he was the reason for FTX collapse for no reason, right? You know, going after USDT forever, right? For no reason, right? And it came to this boiling point where they self-imploded, right? I'm telling you guys, man, you know, you get approached by people who are in high places, they're going to threaten you. Was Coinbase, not Coinbase, but is the Circle part of that? I don't know. We could get into conspiracy theories. Like, I can't pinpoint it in exact words and tell you for certain, but when I have a feeling and a gut feeling, bro, I go with it. That's all I know. That's all I know. And you guys should practice the same things. Okay, that's a skill set that only your intuition you could develop that skill set. It's called self-intuition, and you need to hone into that and master that. But like this guy's talking about Hex. Do I like Hex? Yes. Is Hex great? Yes. Is Pulse Chain great? Yes. That's all great. But why are you saying that? Oh, because it's a great community, because everybody's all for it. Oh, because it's going to do good. Look what Rashad did before. But let me tell you, man, it's the first time for everything. Just because everybody's doing it, that doesn't mean you fucking do it. Okay? Oh, well, because you game theory, bro, fuck all that shit. I'm telling you, bro, it's all good and dandy when everybody's doing it, but when it falls in its face, it's not that fucking good and dandy anymore. Go with your intuition. That's the best thing to do, okay? And nobody can knock me for telling you that. To go with your own intuition, not what the noise is being made out there. That's not you learning any fucking thing, okay? Okay? That's no skill involved in that. Oh, this guy's doing all because of X, Y, and Z. Go with what your gut tells you based off of your own research and your own gut feeling, bro, okay? Because, yeah, everybody's jumping on freaking things just because everybody else is doing it. I mean, they were honest and communicated it instantly. Derek says, what are you talking about? It's not USDC. It's just Silicon Valley. Okay, let's talk about that. That 8% of their funds, what they're doing here. Okay, fair enough. Fair, Derek, and that's a very fair point. I would say this, USDC, or Circle rather, in their threads of tweets, they never said that how, oh yeah, guys, we're depegging right now. It literally was showing signs of it during that thread. Like, I think it was at 99 cents, 98-ish, 99 and a half, 98, like that. They were saying everything's okay. Yes, we have funds in there, blah, blah, blah. But the damage was already done. The scheme was already happening. So they had to play it out too, one could argue. One could argue this. Well, what's the problem if all these banks are going bankrupt? Should a bank ever go bankrupt? Like, and I know today we know that what they do and all these things, and it's not factual, and they don't have one for one. Really, the savings that we have in our bank, they're actually gambling that out and loaning that out, blah, blah, blah. We know that today. But that should why should they loan out your money? Why? A bank should never be that. A bank should be a safe haven place where we keep our funds, where we provide for our family reliably. We can know we can get food. It's stored in a safe place. Why are we even having this conversation? So if they're a part of that whole mechanism, it just tells me it's already a broken system, right? So they weren't telling everybody about the depeg. As a matter of fact, did they even tweet about that? I think after I tweeted about it, I just went to see the comments, and CoinGecko took a screenshot of their coin at whatever 94 cents, I think it was, and dropped it in the comment section of that thread. So that's pretty funny. So they never really spoke about that. Now we look at Silicon Valley Bank. Now, mind you, this is not only crypto related. Entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley who are doing their startup, whatever, they took loans from the same bank, and those people are also suffering too. Let's make that be known. All right, guys. So this is not just only a crypto related thing, but it goes back to corruption and mismanaging funds. Like, why is everyone going broke all of a sudden right now? Like institutions, why? Do you know if you know that how your company is going to go bankrupt, especially if it's a financial institution, how you can make far more money than if it was successful? Do you know that? You guys ever watched that show, The Big Short, or whatever the hell it was called? Well, that's another example of that, right? There's so much things that happens behind the scenes. Like, look at FTX. Do you know how much money they made off of that when they knew they were going to go bankrupt? So there's something called self-liquidation, and Derek, to your point, I'm like, look, no, that's a good point you brought up. But there's something called a legit bankruptcy or going shutting down, and then there's something called self-liquidation, where it's actually self-inflicted for reasons to profit and to see everybody else not profit, or to fuck everybody over, but then you get away with murder, right? And at this point, it's like, if you treat it like a business, and you look at our governments and they're telling us, give us your money. When we tax you, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But then we see the dollar decreases in value every single month, every single year, right? And then it gets worse, it gets worse, it gets worse. And they tell us, we have the solution for this problem. Just give us more money. We're going to tax this, we're going to tax that. And they continue to do that. And then, over a 10-year span, you see that how things got worse. How do you trust them anymore? How do you trust banks anymore? That's the point I'm trying to make too. They have lost their credibility. Put like this, Derek, if I was your cousin and I kept on asking you to borrow $1,000 and I'll pay you back, I said, next month I'll pay you back, and I didn't pay you back. I said, bro, just give me $1,000, bro. I swear to God, give me back that $2,000, man. Trust me, man. My job, I'm going to pay you back, and I don't pay you back, and I don't pay you back, and again, I don't pay you back. Are you going to give me more money? Probably not. So the government is like, really, they're like business owners that are controlling this entire economy, and they're doing either they're doing a very poor job of it, or they're deliberately doing a very poor job of it to profits. And I believe the latter is true. That's what it comes down to, essentially. So, and do you know, back in the day, taxes was never a thing. Like at the turn of the century, in the 1900s, or even just before that, 1870 something, taxes was never a thing. What they did was, the government at the time said that how, they're going to do a vote, and they're going to tell people it was to fight wars, or to fight the English, I think, when Britain was trying to overtake the Great Revolution War, or whatever, and they voted for that, right? Okay, for people to contribute towards that. And now today has become something where you have to do it. We own this. You can't do that. You go to jail for it. Blah 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 blah. So we never used to pay taxes before. So, but that's another, that's another story. But that kind of like adds to my point. Maybe I went a little bit too deep there. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. And they're so worried about like CZ and Binance and all this shit, and they can't even control their own chaos within. You know what I'm saying? Their own stablecoin gets depegged. Yeah, well, was it Silicon Valley? But you're aligned with them. You trusted them. You had it in there, so it's you. So yeah, man. I don't know what to tell you guys. Maybe the only solution is to go into Bitcoin only. Yo, David Morales, how you doing, man? BUSD, somebody says, I would say this. Right now it's USDT for me. Both are still highly risky, BUSD and USDT. All stablecoins are highly risky at this point. It's a clear attack. But BUSD, I just don't like how Paxos stopped issuing them. And I believe right now, as you're speaking this live stream, they're orchestrating a scheme on how they can actually depeg them both. And I'm a sitting duck right now. So when I come off this live stream, I want to make some serious moves. I'm going to monitor Bitcoin. I'm going to see if they're going to crash Bitcoin. And if they do, I'm going to see if USDT could hold. And I will come and buy up some Bitcoin and dump my USDT on Bitcoin. But again, even if I were to buy Bitcoin now and they were to dump it with that 1 billion on Coinbase, I'm still in a good position because Bitcoin will go back up. A destabilized freaking stablecoin, the peg stablecoin, I can't guarantee that. Hit the like button, as he says. I agree. Hex or G, Hex ecosystem is very stable and continues to grow without BTC or ETH connection. Like, why does it have to be about BTC is bad and ETH is bad? Why? If it wasn't for Bitcoin, there'll be no fucking Hex. If it wasn't for Ethereum, there'll be no fucking Hex. So, like, bro, I like them all, yeah, but you don't have to pick and choose which one. Why does it have to be controversial for? That's fucking ignorant-minded fucking people, bro. If it wasn't for Bitcoin, there would be no Ethereum. If it wasn't for Ethereum, there'll be no Hex. Come on. It paved the way for all these things, man. Alright? Again, I was the first one to make a video on Hex. I got nothing against Hex. I love it. I think it's great, sure. But come on, bro. It's not that it's better than this or better than that. Who gives a fuck about that crap? Is it making money for you? Is it providing food on the table for your family? Is it having a positive impact in your life? Great. That's all that fucking matters. David says, Hex OG. Hex still connected some with other crypto. Most Hexians play was to put the USDC to Hex. It was a reason for the nice jump. There we go. There are more ETH coming to get Hex than USDC. Bigger players versus smaller USDC. Cool. What are your thoughts on USDT? Yeah, no, I already answered that about USDT. You know, they were the first ones to do this pretty much, or at least one of the first ones. I think Magic Internet Money was before them. And you know, it's a big gamble right now, but that's the risk I'm willing to take right now. Everything is risky, right? Especially at this moment. But for me personally, my risk tolerance is pretty okay for USDT, but that will soon change within the next 24 to 48 hours. I'm going to make a decision on what I'm doing, because I do believe that 1 billion, how does that 1 billion goes into Coinbase the same time when USDC is depegged, the same time when KuCoin gets sued, the same time when all this shit's going down? You know, how does that happen? Why? Like, again, this is conspiracy theories. Is it a coincidence? I don't believe in coincidences. Okay, well then if you don't believe in coincidences, what is it? Well, is it because they believe when USDC gets depegged, they're going to go into Bitcoin and then they can crash the shit out of Bitcoin too? Probably. I don't know. But for me right now, I got decisions to make, and I wanted to share my thoughts with you guys, and I'm definitely going to get out of USDT. It's just a matter of when. What car is that? Listen. That's the V series Escalade ESV V series. Just needed a 3-row seat SUV. I got a second kid now, and when you got a car seat here and a car seat there, and like just one that has just one row at the back, 3-seater, and when they're crying, you can't go in the back and calm them down. You can't even fit in the middle. So you need a 3-row, and pretty much just got this. You can't even buy this car if you wanted to, though. It's a big long waiting list for it, but you know, when you say your TCL, they attend to you real fast. Cash is king until proven otherwise. I don't know about that. Cash is not king. And if you look at the chart, like, cash is not king long term. Cash is king right now if you have it in your hands. You know, some will argue, hey, I'll keep it in the bank. You can do that too. But I think one day those doors are gonna close too, and you're not gonna be able to get your cash. It's just a matter of when. And I remember when I heard like this Bitcoin Maximus guy, Max Kaiser, whatever his name is, years ago say this. I was like, what is this guy talking about? That'll never happen. Now I see that as I get more experience too. You know, I see this going to be a reality actually, you know. And like people ask, like, I think his wife said this when I love it. They were like, is it too late to buy Bitcoin? Like for people, like, you know, when Bitcoin crashed and everybody was asking, oh, what's going on with Bitcoin? Somebody asked, is it too late to buy Bitcoin? And his wife said it best. She said, if you can still buy Bitcoin with fiat, it's early. And the guy was like, what do you mean? What, so 5 years from now, I wouldn't be able to buy Bitcoin with fiat? 10 years from now, 20 years from now? You know, she looks at him in the eye and says this: who's gonna want your fucking fiat? In 20 years, 10 years, who's gonna want your fucking fiat when the world realizes this and when fiat goes down in value? So I bring that up because cash is king momentarily in your hands, but definitely not a long-term game, bro. Hell no. Okay. Derek again. USDC is fine. They're just lost. Oh, sorry. I think I said that already. Bio due to their stupid USC Silicon Valley Bank. Yeah, I think we said that already. Tether is the OG, but not invincible. Exactly. Well said, APV. What do we got here? Just general prudence. He's right. Why do you think it may flip-flop? Me, Hex, I don't think I'll flip flop, but I always expect the unexpected, for the better or for the worse. You know, when you guys like, let me give an example right here. But I gotta fucking spit. Stay tuned for this, because you're gonna want to hear this. Ah, fuck, man, I got a nasty butt, guys. Listen to me. Now, don't misquote what I'm about to say here, okay? But do you know, and I like Richard Hart. I like Richard Hart, bro. And I actually respect him highly. I respect him the most out of everyone in this space. Speaks the facts. And like, does that mean you have to agree with everyone? No, just because you don't agree with everything they say doesn't mean you don't like them. And I really do like Richard Hart to the utmost, man. I'm like, there's nobody I can see in this space I respect more other than CZ and those guys. But a guy that's not, you know, like, part of the industry like that, from an exchange standpoint, like a thought leader. Well, Richard Hart's somewhat of a thought leader. Someone who's on YouTube, let's just say. Okay, I respect him the most. Now, let me tell you something right now. Do you guys know, and don't misquote me, because I'm not saying this is Richard Hart, okay? But do you know how you get deceived? How you get deceived is like this. Someone will do something that's grand and special and really good and get a reputation from it. And then, you know, once you gain trust from people, then you can sell them anything. Anything, and they'll buy into it. Whatever they say, they're gonna buy into it. It doesn't matter. You don't do no research. You don't do nothing. You just listen to what they say. Why? Because look at this. Oh, that did great. Oh, that did right. That went amazing. People made so much money off that. Look at this. Look at that. And then they come with something else, and then they want to sell you onto that because they know they can you'll easily buy in. I think that was the biggest raise in crypto history. Maybe I'm pretty sure it's definitely top 3 in the billions. Right? That you know why? Because it was all based off of Hex. You know. This is not to piss people off. I'm just a fucking realist, bro, okay? Okay? There's a lot of data out there that shows that Hex was self-pumped, self-manipulated, and people say, I don't give a fuck, he made me money. That's fine. That's fine, sure. You know, he owned the supply, he could do this, he could wash trade, he could do that, pump it up and make everybody happy to buy into something. I'm not saying that's what he did. This is what people are saying, and this could be a reality. There's data out there that shows this, actually. You know, I think he was on somebody's live stream, BitBoy, promoting Pulse Chain, and said, oh, what's that? Oh, look, somebody just bought $1 million worth of Pulse, and it was him, right? So there's a lot of, like, puppet string things happening here. So back to my original point. And like, I don't really care about that. What I say is this: I know the game that I'm playing, and I'm playing against everybody else. And you know, there's money to be made in the space. There's a lot of dumb, gullible fucks in the space, and I love it because I smell money. I smell vulnerability, and I have the advantage over them. My point is this: if you could sell somebody on something because of your reputation from the past, and you bring something big for them, do you know how people really get away with that? You know, like the con artists, which is not Richard Hart. I'm not saying that, but what con artists do is they do exactly that. They build up a product, they get your trust, and then they come hard with you right there and then. Right? Now, do I think he's a con artist? No. But I'm just saying the way the world works, this is how it is. When you have the most expectations for something, sometimes those are the ones that least perform the best. Okay? That's all I'm saying. There's an actual scientific name for that. I forget what it's called. But there's a real term for that. I forget the name of it. But that's all I'm saying. So just expect the fucking unexpected, or else you're going to wake up one day heartbroken. You're going to want to jump off a fucking building. You're gonna fucking hit every fucking tree on the way down. You're gonna fucking look in the sky, a piano's gonna fall in your fucking face, and then you're gonna be like walking around all pissed off every day for the rest of your life. That's what you're gonna feel. Okay? Just expect the unexpected. That's all. Okay? Do not ever buy into one man only. Buy into yourself. Do your research. Don't be a fucking fanboy. Don't be this community member. Let me change my profile pic to fucking this to that. Fuck that shit. Because you're gonna be in for a rude awakening one day, bro. Let me tell you. That's all I'm saying. Okay, is that him? No, I'm not saying that. But expect the unexpected, that's all. Okay, for the better or the worse. Shit. I know I'm spitting everywhere, but sorry. Thomas, what's up, bro? What's up? Yeah, I agree with you, but how else should they keep the funds safe? I don't know. I mean, like, that's not my job to say, because I'm not in that financial. I'm not the one, you know, with this freaking big license to freaking hold people's funds and to do all this shit and issue coins. They should have known how to do that before from the get-go. Their credibility is lost, right? That's all, Derek. All I'm saying is this, from somebody in the space, is you can't trust that anymore. How could you trust that now? Doesn't matter if it was your fault. It doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter if it was your fault, even worse. But the fact of the matter is, you're depegged and your credibility is gone. It's not safe. Crypto taxation pays for them to push their agendas, but we won't go into that. Yeah. I know I'm going off topic, but it's kind of not really. It's kind of relevant too at the same time. Super Kitty, what's up? How you doing, hun? I know you are traveling around the world as you're telling me. Good for you. I hope you don't have USDC. I know you're a big trader, and traders like to use stable coins, especially USDC. I just hope you didn't fall, for that. Don't throw stones in a glass house. Circle should have mind its own business, Morales says. What we got here? Oh man, I'm far behind. Okay, let me see here. Richard Hart tells it in your face he will get the best deal, but a lot of millionaires are made in his wake. Always expect unexpected. You don't know what you don't know can be nasty. Exactly, that's all. Don't lose yourself in this rabbit hole. APV says 89 cents. There we go, guys. Okay, guys. So to reiterate what we just went over, in USDC, you got a couple options. If you're holding USDC, you got the option to see if it's going to go back to $1, and then you could stay there if you want, or then you could get out to get the best bang for your buck, or you could do what I would have done if I had USDC, which is to cut my losses at, what is it at right now? 89 cents, 11% loss. So if I had $1 million, well, guess what? I'm going to lose that 110K. All right, I'll take that hit. If I had 1,000, well, yeah, I'm going to take that hit too. I'm going to lose 110 bucks. Whatever, it is what it is. I am not in the position right now to be at a bigger loss of this. Okay, I don't care if it goes back up. It loses credibility to me, and I'm moving on. Number two, if you're in another stablecoin, you best be on the lookout rather, because those other stablecoins could be depegged next. Okay, maybe it wouldn't, but we're not in this for maybes. When you're managing funds, there's no maybes. You gotta have conviction and go with your gut. You could go into BTC, but keep in mind, they do own $1 billion worth of Bitcoin on Coinbase, which I believe they will dump. Now, let's see what happens, guys. Hope you guys enjoy the content. Hope I made some sense to y'all, and you can formulate your own thoughts to make your own moves moving forward, and that's the best way to learn, by your own intuition. So you know what? There really much left to say other than, till the next video. You're on your own. Later.